being recorded.
Okay, the three names: lionization or X-inactivation. Hello everyone, today we will talk about lionization, also called X-inactivation, or hello everyone, today we will talk about lionization, also called X-inactivation or bar body formation. It is a very natural process that happens only in females who has two X chromosomes and not in males because the male has only one X chromosome. Because it is the process of X-inactivation. Hello everyone, today we will talk about lionization, also called X-inactivation or bar body formation. It is a very natural process that happens only in females who has two X chromosomes and not in males because the males has only one X chromosome.
Why is it so much when they call something natural? This is not natural to the female biology at all.
Because it is the process of X inactivation. So lionization happens only when you have two X chromosomes. So one of that X chromosome gets inactivated. It cannot happen in men, can only happen in women. Okay. Three names: lionization or X inactivation or bar body formation. So the females has two X chromosome. One is maternal origin and the other is paternal origin. Only one of those X chromosomes is randomly turned off in every cell in early development. Okay, this turned off chromosome is called bar body or methylated heterochromatin. Okay, this process is very random. In some cells, the paternal X chromosome is inactivated, and in some cells, the maternal X chromosome is inactivated. So it is not always the maternal X chromosome that is inactivated or paternal X chromosome that is inactivated. It is very random process. Why lionization is important? We know that some of the diseases are X-linked recessive diseases. That means these diseases are very common in men. They are transmitted genetically through X chromosome. So they appear very easily in men because man has only one X chromosome, and that if that X chromosome has the faulty genes for some diseases, the disease will appear in those persons. So usually the X-linked recessive disorders are most likely seen in men, while what happens is sometimes the X-linked recessive disease also gets activated in females. And what is the reason? Because as females, the lionization process is very random. So some cells with the normal gene get active, and in some cells, the faulty genes, the X chromosome that contains faulty genes get activated. So if
Exactly. Okay, so here is the point I was trying to make with this particular video. Okay. They're saying that it's a normal process to deactivate your one of your X chromosomes. It's just a normal process. So the normal process of your body is to cause you diseases. I mean, what kind of nonsense is this? This is not normal. Okay, this is not normal. The normal process of your body is to do things that would not cause you diseases. Okay, and the reason the men have these problems, these X-linked diseases, is because of one, they're missing the X, but two, the X's talk to each other. The X's talk to each other. They have us. I suspect that they have a system by which they heal each other. Like they interchange information to heal each other, right? Like for instance, you can tell if something is off with these genes, but then like then you talk to the other X to determine if you can, if they, if there's a correct copy. Does that make sense? Right. So if you're missing a second X, then you obviously cannot do that. Then you obviously cannot do that. Right? They are thinking that, oh no. If it's just that if you have a second X, then you would just use that X. What about if you could just use the second X to correct the first one? Because the X, what I know for sure is that X's have a way of self-correction. Maybe they have a way of talking to the other X as well. To correct, to help them correct. Because I need you to understand this. The sheer number of cellular activity has it so that your genes are working at a high level. They are doing entirely too much, which means the way to make sure that what you're doing and and what they say about anything worth doing is worth doing right? Genes take that to another level. They won't bother doing it if it isn't going to work, right? They wouldn't bother to do that. They would make sure they do it right. And that is why they have control systems in every stage. What there's a communication system, there's a control system, there's this, there's that. In order for them to replace your skin every 90 days, to replace your heart muscles every 90 days, they have to get it right. They have to get it right, and they have to get it right quickly, which is basically like the first time every time, right? So do you think that part of the process of getting it right would be to have your chromosomes talk to each other? Have your chromosomes talk to each other to help each other heal? Yeah, I think so. I think that is not a far-fetched theory, right? So they're saying that they fixed women's second chromosome in order to not create abnormality, but then that ends up creating abnormality. So you can see that this is a lie, right? You can see that this is a lie. Now, the reason that they're saying these things is not because they actually know why it happened. I think they just came up with a theory. They just came up with a random theory to explain what they're seeing, but they didn't actually do any research to figure out why it would actually do that. Because when I looked at it, I looked at how genes normally work, and I looked at how all these things are. It's causing all of these issues, and your genes work to not cause issues for you. Genes work to not cause issues. So why would you think that this process is going to happen? It's going to be part of the process, but then it causes issues like this, right? Because I need you to understand that I actually believe that all the diseases that we are experiencing are only because of this very thing. Because of this very thing, because you have to understand that when they said that they were equalizing us with the men, it's because the men only have one, which is problematic. So they made it so that we also have one, but one is not what is normal. So basically, they have basically diseased all of us by doing this. Not for us. If not for us, if not for them doing this to us, if not for us, if not for them doing this to us, maybe we would have a longer lifespan. Maybe the our chromosomes talking to each other. Maybe that is a real thing, and that it knows how to heal itself by having a second X. Maybe we're supposed to have the limb regeneration exactly like the chameleons, exactly like the lizards. Maybe we're supposed to have that. Maybe we're supposed to have a better immune system that helps us fight microorganisms. Maybe we're supposed to have all of that. But they've robbed us of it. And the proof, again, the proof, the proof that this was problematic is that it is causing diseases. That it causes diseases. That is the proof. Because this is not how genes work. Genes do not work in a way that just, you automatically just gonna have this disease and there's nothing you can do about it. This thing that was done to us, that is what is causing these diseases. And they want you to believe, that is just a normal process. Yeah, no, that is what they needed to be able to get us. That is why that's why this exists. This is what they did to us. This is how they hobbled us. This is how they imprisoned us. And the only option that we have is to find a way to get free. of them, is to find a way to get free of them. That's it for now.